Okay, remember that they are changing my voice. I'm not gay. I rebuke all the spirits trying to make it so I sound gay. Now, when we look at Proverbs chapter 25, verse 11, it says, like apples of gold in settings of silver is a ruling rightly given. So the apples, right, the fruit is being compared to a ruling. Who rules over who? The fruit of a spirit and how it rules over somebody. So we can see that the snake is trying to cheat the king and trying to present a false ideal, a false leader, a false point of reference. The snake in the garden, that caused them to fall. That's why the word deal is the word lead scrambled. Now sometimes the wordplay can be misleading, but there it is sound. Do you have a deal with God and I, or do you have a deal with the devil? It's that simple. And it's not a coincidence that they're naked in the garden. So who can you trust to be naked around, and why? Exactly. And so when we think about an attractive female, going to a scoundrel or a rich person, or dating based on money, or racial conceptions, or following people in cults like Keith Rainier, Epstein, following the English and the history of eugenics, okay, we know that that is the devil doing it, beyond a reasonable doubt. We know that white people went around the world doing eugenics, and they're still doing it. There's no way around it. When you look at the word eugenics, you got EU, okay, it means for, European Union. It also can mean the word quote-unquote good. But obviously, it's not what you think it is. There's layers to the wordplay. The word good is a plain word for doggo. And the dog, right, Christ did not come for the dogs. He's trying to cheat the cat. Now I'm going to have to use some words here that are a little vulgar, a little, profane, to help you understand what's going on here. Another word for the vagina is the pussy, right, which belongs to the cat, right? It belongs to the cat. And they also call it the snatch, right? The catch and the snatch. The cat see, catch, and the snatch. Now, if that's not enough, the word medic, you have the word me dick, okay? And the word food is plain word for faux du, meal, melee, and menu date. Together, right, to get her, together. So they put this wordplay out there because they're up to no good. Now, is that language Hebrew? Well, in Hebrew, there's other things like that as well, but it's English, the language and the line gauge. And America's part of the Anglosphere. So yes, there's an organized rape by deception trap where they're deceiving people, right? The devil's the deceiver. He wants you to make a deal with him, especially relative to the wordplay and stuff like that. Okay, and then he lies to you and you regret the deal, but you shouldn't have made the deal to survive in the first place. We see in the Bible, right? Abraham's willing to sacrifice Isaac. The 12 disciples are willing to sacrifice themselves when Thomas says, let us go and die with him. Okay, Peter says that I will die for you, I won't deny you, and he feels ashamed of himself when he's too much of a coward to acknowledge that he was with Christ. It's pretty straightforward. We also see that in Proverbs 4:17 it says that they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. And wine is made from grapes, which goes back to the fruits, right? The apples, the grapes, the fruit of the tree of knowledge. Okay? And that is wickedness, violence. Okay, rulings that are wrong, like how they rule in terms of homelessness and adding more insight to society. How they rule in terms of the economy. The economy is deliberate, right? They want you to grovel. So you look at the word home, it's a plain word for homey. Okay, and house, ho-use, not a coincidence. They want you to grovel for these things, right? Medic, for Medicare, for a place to stay, right? A place, a place, a place, who you're seeing, right? They say, she's seeing somebody. She's going out with somebody. She's sleeping with somebody, right? Pan, the word pan is nap spelled backwards, right? Pan is the devil on the tarot card. Pan is a Greek deity whose name means all, for all the Greco-Roman deities like Zeus, who's symbolized by the eagle, as was Rome. This symbolically killed Christ in the story. And there's the eagle of Babylon. It's pretty straightforward. The eagle, right? Lazy, silly, sketchy, crazy, okay? Pervy, and so on and so forth. Emasculate, effeminate, Now, who wants to cover this video up and who doesn't? Why are they afraid to discuss this? This video is, what it isn't, which is wrong. Why don't they want to discuss it? Why would they avoid it? It's pretty straightforward. What groups have inordinate influence over the world? And why aren't they using their power to get the message out and try to stop these people? It's very sick what they're doing. They think that they should sleep with their foe. It's like, a rapist saying to a female who's on the fence that she should sleep with a guy who's bad for her in order to have a place, right? P, lay, C. Or have food, fo, do, meal, me, lay, grub, G, rub, the word rub. And the G in Freemasonry. For example, the G for gangster. The G, the earth D, the Roman earth D, also known as Gaia, Gaia. It's pretty straightforward what is going on. Pretty straightforward. Ra in Hebrew means evil, the word rape. Ra in PE, right? Physical education. And that goes back to who's teaching you. The word cheat is the word teach scrambled. So when the word together is to get her, how are they trying to get her? By who teaches who? Who teaches who on the news? Who teaches who in videos? That's why they're covering up my videos. Okay, they're waiting until they edit my videos and they're letting it get a lot of views, or they're rigging the count way after the fact when it's too late. Rate, late, hate, fate, mate, right? Rhyme and reason, late and hate and mate and rate. While you're being sealed in hell, in Zechariah, I believe it is, it says that Babylon is sealed. There's a lead seal over the basket, right? Going to hell in a handbasket and being sealed in hell. The 7 seals. The word racist is like the word rapist. So is it insignificant that the system is racist? No. When the Republicans say that they're mad that people argue that women are being coerced and oppressed, that people of color are being coerced and oppressed by rapists who historically raped their women. Look at the DNA tests of Mexicans. There's scientists who argue that the Human Genome Project and DNA tests have shown that Mexicans are disproportionately the offspring of indigenous females, not indigenous males, because a bunch of Spanish and what have you, they came here and they raped the hell out of the indigenous females. So we see the history. You know them by their works, by their fruits. The fruits of Western colonialism is rape, and the offspring of rape and coercion, and their stupid wordplay, which is an organized rape by deception. The rape in the fraternities, even police and military raping people. Just rape every time you turn around. Okay? And if you are someone like me who exposes it, they try to make you look bad. They'll probably do a smear campaign if my videos get too popular, because they're organized rapists with no sense, with no honor, with no dignity, with no decency. They don't care about right and wrong. And as a result, like it says in Isaiah 57, the righteous are taken away and the wicked are sealed in hell. And of the wicked, the most wicked are dumb enough to keep having children, which is a very stupid mistake. Mistake. Eve taking the apple of following the false idol. Okay, a ruling wrongly given from the tree of knowledge instead of life. From the fruit of the righteous. The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life. From the mouth of the righteous comes the fruit of wisdom. We see that in Proverbs. And they're making it harder for me to speak because they're wicked, sniveling, governing class trash and their managerial filth allies who say it's not going to change anything anyway. Did Abraham say that when he was with Isaac, about to sacrifice him? Did Christ say that? John the Baptist, Stephen the martyr? Did the early Christians in popular culture? Did Thomas say that when he said he was willing to die with Jesus? Did Peter say he'd rather die than deny Christ? Then what kind of person does say that? A bitch-made, sniveling pussy, and quite often they pretend that they're tough. Cowards, punks, inferior culture having dogs. And you know that. You all know that to the essence of your soul. You know that.